So you mentioned mental illnesses.
Hmm.
So how do you continue to push Duwop's Kitchen? Obviously, it's part of your life, and you don't feel like it's work. But how do you balance the two? Like, how do you really suppress or deal with the mental challenges and run your business and work a full-time job?
I'll take it.
Welcome back to the Let's Evolve for Tomorrow podcast. I'm your host, Tyrone, and we help aspiring, new, and existing entrepreneurs excel to the next level by inviting other aspiring, new, and existing entrepreneurs to the podcast where they can give some knowledge and some gems to help you get to the next level. So without further ado, we want to introduce a special guest, Ym'Unique Boles with Duwop's Kitchen. She's been in business for about 5 years. The last 2 years have been amazing for her. Pop-up shops all over the city. It's been a great 2 years for her, but I don't want to spoil everything. I'm going to hand it over to Ym'Unique. I want to thank you for joining, just really coming out.
Thank you.
I was super excited to reach out to you. You accepted the invitation. You finally made it, so thank you again.
I appreciate it. I was super excited to get it. This is my first podcast, so
Okay.
I am all here for it, for real.
Well, welcome. I'm sure you're going to give us a lot of value.
Oh, I'm going to try. Everything
Okay.
I got knowledge of right now.
Okay. All right. That's cool.
I'm
That's all we
try.
can ask for, right?
Yeah.
So if you don't mind, if you could just give us a brief introduction, tell us about yourself, give us a little background.
All right. My name is Ym'Unique, but I go by Shorty Duwop. I am the owner and producer of Duwop's Kitchen. I specialize in mostly soul food, collard greens, turkey. We try to stay away from pork, but I will do pork upon request. I do a lot of homemade desserts. My grandmother was a homemaker, and when my father passed a few years back, I got a hold of some tins full of her recipes. And they're on index cards. They typed up like they old.
Okay.
So I've been really diving into that. Soul food, homemade goods, just anything that'll take us back to enjoying food for real.
Okay. So I know before we started recording, you talked about you've had a lot of success. So you've been in business 5 years, but you've had a lot of major success over the last 2 years. So just tell us about some of that success.
Oh, yeah. My last 2 years, they've been really busy, successful, happy, up and down. I got introduced to pop-up shops by a young lady that actually makes my waist beads.
Okay.
And after she invited me to one, after that, I just kind of was like, you know what? This is so much better than setting up the tent in front of mommy's house. So I just started trying to snag any pop-up shops I've seen. And for the most part, they have really been successful.
Okay.
They have.
So how many pop-up shops did you attend this year?
I think we got 4 on my belt.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we got 4 on my belt right now.
Perfect. So would you consider yourself an aspiring, new, or existing entrepreneur?
Can we put it all together?
Absolutely.
I'm an inspiring, new, existing entrepreneur.
Okay.
Only I want to say put it all together because I'm very much inspired. Food, that's my thing. Aside of cooking, I love to eat, regardless of how small I am.
Okay.
I have been doing it for 5 years, but I'm still learning. So I'm still new. Things are constantly changing. I got to put it all in one, all of it.
Okay. So let's talk about what inspired you to start. First of all, where did Duwop's Kitchen come from? Where did that name come from?
So I'm only 5'1" and a half.
Okay.
Don't X that out. I'm 5'1" and a half.
Put the half on there.
Yep. I got the name Shorty Duwop in high school.
Okay.
And it just stuck. It was either people was calling me Shorty or they was calling me Duwop. And once I kind of start cooking and putting prices on my food, I'm like, I don't really know what to call it. My first name, Ym'Unique, is just too long for anything. That's too many syllables. And I was like, I really didn't just want to go by Shorty. If I'm not mistaken, it's actually another girl here in Columbus that has the name Shorty something. So I'm like, I didn't see no Duwops. It's an older name. We gonna go with Duwop.
Okay.
And it was all in the kitchen. So
Okay.
Duwop's Kitchen.
So when did you actually start before you made it official? Was it 5 years ago or way before then?
About 5 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, it became official about 5 years ago. Like, I will always kind of cook for my friends, family, just to get people to come together was the first initial point. You tell somebody you cooking, I bet money they gonna beat down your door.
Exactly.
Like, so that was my way of keeping people together. After keeping people together, it was like you can expand out, not just making the people close to you in your circle happy from your food. Expand out. And before I actually started selling it, my leftover food, I gave it to the homeless.
Okay.
So that was more so where the Duwop kitchen part came from. I started honestly not charging people.
Okay.
It just was leftovers going to the homeless, giving back to the area I stayed in, West Side Columbus, y'all. And just to give back, you kind of got to have something. So I had to put some prices on there a little bit, but
exactly.
That's really how it all just.
So did it start off as a nonprofit or a for-profit business?
Nonprofit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when did you decide to flip over to for-profit, or is it still a nonprofit business?
I like to consider it a little bit of half and half for the most part, because even now, whatever food, desserts I don't sell, I give them to the homeless.
Okay.
I do try to, of course, get things out and everything to keep my brand going, but most of the money is really used to make sure I can give back and keep going.
Okay.
To be honest.
So what's your overall vision for Duwop's Kitchen?
Overall vision?
Yeah. Like, what's your ultimate goal? So I know you want to give back, but is it just, are you trying to have like a soup kitchen or something similar to that, but calling it Duwop's Kitchen, or something bigger?
Bigger.
Okay.
Because I do always want the opportunity. Well, first off, I want the opportunity for people of the less fortunate to come in. But I know that's going to take a bigger brand. With people being just greedy when it comes to food, I figured I could use them to kind of to give them something we don't really have that much in the city. We don't have a lot of soul food restaurants. So it was we need a soul food restaurant.
Okay.
We need a black-owned soul food restaurant. Somebody that's more deep into their roots. We got fresh greens that I'm picking. We ain't touching glory greens.
Okay.
As well as to expand from my soul to signs are going to go up that say what I'm doing. And it'll have people like, yeah, I'm coming in to buy food. But when I'm buying food, she's going to give it back to the homeless. Or, maybe around Christmas time, she's going to do a toy drive off of this plate I bought. So as long as people coming in, it's like a scratch my back for the city, scratch yours.
Okay, that makes sense. So that's the for-profit side. The non-profit side is saying, hey, with this money and revenue that's coming in, we're going to take a percentage of that to give back to the community for the people that can't afford it.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. So how did you even get started? Like, what was the first step? What were you thinking when you were sitting there like, man, I love cooking for my family? What was that first step? Was it the LLC? What was it?
No. No, actually, LLC was my last step. Okay. I ain't even gonna lie.
Okay.
The first step was people in my ear.
Okay.
You need to cook. What you cooking? We hungry. You ever thought about selling your plates? That was the first step, was knowing it was bigger than just my small circle.
Okay.
And getting the confidence to want to kind of share it was like, you know what, let me expand outside of my small circle. That was before the LLC, which I should have got first, but not knowing.
You were just testing the market.
Yep. I didn't know even about all the paperwork I had to get at first, to be honest. I did not know about a lot of that. So I just started being like, let me see how it's going to move out of my home kitchen. And it moved.
Okay.
It definitely moved.
Is that what gave you the confidence to actually take it to the next level?
The city. Anybody who came and bought food from me, they gave me confidence. Not tooting my own horn, but I haven't had more than, out of my 5 years, I can count on one hand how many people have either returned or not liked my food.
Okay.
So when people, oh, this is good, when you gonna cook again, or where you gonna be at next, I'm coming.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get to these pots.
Right.
You know, that's what made me be like, I got y'all. They wanted me.
Okay.
So.
All right. So when did you decide, okay, I got to make my business legit. It's time for me to really take this thing to the next level. And I know you also stated that you didn't know anything about the paperwork. Because, I mean, a lot of times people are afraid to start a business because they don't know the legal side. They don't know the proper documents, the tax side, and all of that stuff. So they have this fear, and then they stay on a small scale because they don't know how to scale. So how did you figure that part out?
I started asking a lot of questions.
Okay.
And I branched out towards people that I knew was either beyond in the entrepreneurial world. And I mean, this was before I stopped working for corporate companies. My general managers and stuff, or my store managers, I would ask them just anything, because they know about the bigger corporations, but I need down here.
Exactly.
So I started with asking my bosses.
When you say down here, what do you mean by that?
Not HR.
Okay.
Yeah, not HR. Us normal 9 to 5 people.
Okay.
I want y'all information, but I didn't want to have to go all the way up there, you know, working with corporate to get it. Mm-hmm. And the easiest way is everybody got a boss.
Right.
So I'm going to talk to this boss, and then I'm going to ask your boss, and just, that was pretty much for real how I got a lot of my help. I started asking a whole bunch of questions, even as far as not bigger corporations, people that were just now getting started. Mm-hmm. I asked them where they were, like even on the IRS website. How far did you get? Did you do this, or did you understand what all them numbers meant? And we be sitting there looking at each other and be like, hey, I didn't get that, but I got this. Mm-hmm. And great minds, you put them together, we can figure it out.
Okay. So basically you pieced it together. Whenever you ran into issues, you weren't afraid to say, hey, look, if I'm going to do this, I can't be afraid to open my mouth and ask questions.
Big facts.
Okay.
Big facts.
So when you started, when you got your LLC, you got your EIN, were you marketing at that time? And if so, how did you market?
Yeah, I've never really stopped marketing. A lot of it was mostly social media.
Okay. For
real, big on social media just because that's what's going on. Facebook.
Okay. So did it help at all? Did you get a lot of sales from the marketing?
It did. It seems like it can go back and forth, honestly. Okay. And that's the process I'm still even learning with, is my marketing, which audiences are easier to reach. Mm-hmm. Is it going to be through social media? Will it go through me standing outside of Kroger passing out flyers and samples? Like, it's a test.
Okay.
It is.
So within those first couple of years, would you say that you were really successful within the first, let's say the first year?
No.
You were successful?
No.
What stopped you from being successful?
The first couple years, I know I wasn't really asking questions.
Okay.
I was not trying to budget or figure out how to budget. I would just be like, I'm going to make this and then go and get it, not trying to see how much you going to make back, if you can even afford all of that. I wasn't budgeting, and I didn't take even my marketing serious. I just kind of let that go word of mouth.
Okay. So when did you hit that point where you said, okay, you know what? I'm tired of not knowing how much money I'm spending, how much money I'm going to make. I need to step my game up. When did you hit that point? Like, what happened in that moment that caused that transition?
I wanted to keep cooking, and I didn't have no money to cook.
Okay.
For real.
That's fair.
I'm fair. I got all these ideas, all these different things I want to do, and I don't have no money to do it. Mm-hmm. And it's like, what? You got people coming in, but this isn't making sense. Mm-hmm. And it was like, at the end, now you're trying to run a business. It's not even just about giving back. You want this to keep going. This is running a business. So I have to make these prices where they make sense. Mm-hmm. Not just to be like, oh, you got the cheapest prices in the city and you're going to bring people in. You're going to have the cheapest prices in the city and you're going to get one good week and that's it.
Exactly.
It was being broke.
Okay. So would you say that your sales are consistent throughout the year, or do you kind of have ups and downs?
They definitely go up and down.
Okay.
I've noticed they can, honestly, they go down during tax time.
Okay. Really?
Yeah.
Sales go down.
Sales go down during tax time. People prefer to go to actual restaurants.
Okay.
That's where they be tearing them seafood boils up and all of that. They prefer the restaurants during tax time.
Okay.
Summer isn't too bad, depending on what I'm making and around when. Now, summer weekends are usually harder because of all the festivals.
Right.
So I've kind of, during the summer, I was telling people we doing Tuesday through Thursday. I am not about to compete with the Rib Fest. And no, unless I'm going down there. But in winter, it's cool because of the holidays.
Okay. So would you say that you really had your foot on the gas when it came to marketing your business and putting yourself out there?
After a while.
Okay.
After a while, I can say that. At first, I can't say I was a little bit cocky with being like, I'm just going to let this go word of mouth. I don't really want to deal with people. You tell people I'm cooking type thing. And it started to become, at the end of the day, you do have to talk to people. They want to know who is preparing their food. Like, so I had to step outside of my own box. And honestly, marketing with people, I had to step out my comfort zone. And it was not easy.
I can believe it.
It wasn't.
Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, just even with me, reaching out to people to come on a podcast, I'm talking with people that I've never met before. I'm sending them emails and calling them over the phone. Like, actually, someone's going to come on a podcast here in a few weeks. And, I went to her place of business, just like you. It's like, okay, hey, is this a scam? People don't know. So I said, if I show up face to face, then you can see I'm a real person. And we can quickly build trust that way. And within like 5 minutes, she was like, oh, yeah. Because at first, she wasn't responding to my emails, my phone calls, or nothing. But that face-to-face interaction definitely helps. So I can understand.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Okay. So would you say that you're taking your marketing serious now?
I am.
Okay.
I am. I can be better. I'm still working on it. I do work outside of cooking.
Okay.
So that puts a little bit of a strain on it, but I do my best to post as much as possible, be as detailed, respond back efficiently to anybody that has questions, concerns. If somebody even tag me in something and be like, you ever thought about making this or you make these? Hey, I'll see what I can do. So I try to let people know I'm listening, I'm here for them, and I'm available.
So do you hope that one day Duwop's Kitchen will take place of, so I'm assuming you work another job full time?
I do.
Okay, so are you eventually going to replace that full-time job with Duwop's Kitchen?
I would love to.
Okay.
Yeah, I would really love to. It's a little bit deeper than just replacing that job, though, for me, to be honest.
Break that down for us.
So, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Yes, Duwops is my business, but for me, it's my life. As long as I'm cooking, I feel as if I do have a purpose, which is kind of difficult sometimes. I do got a lump of different mental illnesses that I battle with on a regular. And to be able to do something and feel as if you have a constant clear head, you're good at it regardless of, it's there for you. It's not a job. It's my life. So.
Okay. So you mentioned mental illnesses. So how do you continue to push Duwop's Kitchen? Obviously, it's part of your life and you don't feel like it's work. But how do you balance the two? Like, how do you really suppress or deal with the mental challenges and run your business and work a full-time job?
I take a break.
Okay.
You have to take breaks.
Okay.
And that was something I'm real life learning within these last 2 years out of my 5 that I've done it. And that will explain why my first 3 was probably so up and down and choppy. I wasn't taking breaks.
Okay.
You have to know when regardless whether it's your business, your job, you have to know when the most important job, taking care of yourself, is starting to become at risk, or it's not happening because you're pouring so much into everything else. Everything else is gonna crumble. And I learned them first 3 years from just trying to go hard, not all at once, but in increments of them 3 years, nonstop, and being like burnt out in 4 or 5 months, mentally, physically. And the next thing you know, I don't have the patience within myself to try to come up with another business plan for the month. And next thing you know, I've shut down for a month. But it's going to take me 2 more months to get back what I needed after that month of shutdown. So taking a break and learning yourself is very important, to be like, that's how I'm going to even keep going.
Oh, that's valuable. So when you say take a break, are you talking about taking 15-minute break, a couple days, a couple of weeks, a couple of months?
Whatever is good for you. Me, I take 1 weekend off a month.
Okay.
From every job I have. From every job, everybody, most of the time.
Okay.
I am a person, I enjoy being around people, but I like to be alone too.
Mm-hmm.
My job makes me be around people.
Mm-hmm.
So that 1 weekend out of that month, I don't want to.
Wow.
Or even if I want to, I may still take that time for myself just to find out what I need.
Okay.
So once a month for me, I'm shut down.
So would you say that's like your power up weekend? Like after a 30-day month, you say, okay, I get this weekend, power up. Once I get that weekend, I'm good to go for another 30 days.
I don't know about a power up because some weekends I'll be laying there and I'll just be like, I'll be so mentally and physically drained that I'll blink. It's Friday, I'll blink and it's Sunday night.
Mm-hmm.
And I just know that the weekend is over.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't look at it as a power up. I look at it as you rested and you still do have things that you need to do.
So kind of like a reset.
Perfect.
Okay.
Reset. Yep.
So I don't know about power up.
Yeah, power up sound like I'm always stoked and ready. Nah. Some Sunday nights I'll be like, look, man, Duwops, okay, I can't do this tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? Monday, during my lunch break, I got you. But I'm enjoying this weekend.
Okay. So there's a lot of other people, a lot of other companies out here doing exactly what you do, right? So what sets you apart?
I'm not a company. I am not I'm not a company, and I'm not trying to really be in this just for the money.
Okay.
Like I said, it's my life. Most companies, they make their money and then they spend it or they go bankrupt or anything like that. No, as long as I am a vessel here on this earth,
Mm-hmm.
and my hands is working, I'm going to cook.
Okay.
And that means I'm still alive.
Okay.
And by the grace of God, I'm going to continue to live. And it's going to go through my food.
So when you say you're not a company, what do you mean by that?
I feel like companies, they get blindsided.
Okay.
After a while, they turn into just being all about the money, just all really about the money and how to bring in more money. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we want to make our customers happy, but how are we going to get them to spend more money? My main goal has nothing to really do with people spending more money with me.
Okay.
It's about my mental, mm-hmm. me loving what I do, and as well for the people that don't have access, here is some delicious food, mm-hmm. something hot, It's so many people that get looked over and on the streets, and they just, a hot meal, man, you have no idea, like, the wonders that really do for a family, not just adults, kids. Mm-hmm. You know how many kids ain't never had greens?
No, I honestly thought every kid had greens.
I met a couple, had never tried greens in their life, not our greens. And to see the look on their faces light up, mm-hmm. I'm going to keep making greens. I need to keep making these greens. Like,
okay, so I guess I'm really trying to understand. You said you're not a company. So are you considering switching to a nonprofit from the for-profit? Because, and the only reason I'm asking, because you said you're not really concerned about money, which is not a bad thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because sometimes people have the passion to do something for their community, but at the same time, you still got to make a living.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you bridge the gap between your passion, what you were born to do, and make a living and bring those two worlds together?
I don't know if it's gonna make sense, but it's almost like
It's your truth, so it'll make sense.
it's kind of like I haven't found anything outside of that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what else are you going to do other than cook? And to me, that's like, what else you gonna do other than breathe?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I said, as long as I'm cooking, I know I can live.
Okay.
So I feel like the bills will get paid. I'll be able to give back, but I have to at least be cooking.
Okay. So why not just go find an opportunity or a job in culinary arts where you're making so much money or making good money to where the extra money that you put off to the side, you dump that into your nonprofit to where you can still give back to the community and you don't feel that pressure and that feeling of being a business. Or just say, you know what? I need to figure out what the products that I'm offering, how can I still scale it to where it's a business, right? And I can do it full time because this is what I love and make enough money to where I can pinch off of that to still give back to the community, because you can have two arms. It's like, hey, this is my for profit. And to your point, what you were talking about earlier is taking 10% of what you make and putting that to the side for your nonprofit so you have the best of both worlds.
I thought about going to school.
Okay.
But within that question, you did say, why not go and like work for somebody else? I don't like nobody telling me what to do. I don't like the pressure of a boss.
Okay.
I don't like the pressure, even though I'm working now, I still don't like the pressure of I have to clock in at this time. I have to go by these handbook rules. With my own business, this is mine.
Right.
And food is one of them things where it's all you. You can't change my ingredients. If I do go to culinary or I decide to work under another chef, they're going to make me change my style of cooking.
Okay.
That's too much of changing me.
Okay, that's real. So why not just take Duwop's Kitchen to the next level? Why not go all in?
Maybe, well, I know some of it is still lack of knowledge. I'm still learning on the steps I need to take to go full in. And then it's a little bit of fear in there.
Okay, that's fair.
I can admit that it's a little bit of fear. Because I don't know exactly, how to all the way take it to the next level.
Which is normal.
So it's sometimes it's comfortable to sit here, but I do think about I need to take this to the next level, but not knowing, it kind of had you at a little standstill. But I'm trying to shake out of it.
Okay. So what pieces do you feel like you're missing?
I need to understand this tax stuff a little bit more.
Okay.
And maybe just some more of the ins and outs, leaning more towards the nonprofit side.
Okay.
Like, how could I even get more help with that, with me wanting to be more on the nonprofit side? Because right now I know I want to be, but I'm still having to put in the funds or come up with the funds and all of that.
Okay. So I'll tell you what, there was actually a payroll and tax specialist on the podcast a few weeks ago. So seriously, Stacy Poole, she's actually out west on West Broad. So what if I put you in contact with her and you can ask all of the tax related questions? I could reach out to her and say, hey, Duwop's Kitchen is going to reach out. Because at the end of the day, the whole purpose of this podcast, is to bring on entrepreneurs at all levels. So then when opportunity presents itself like this, okay, hey, we know someone. Put those two people together to get to the next level.
I love it.
You okay with that?
I love it, and she ain't far from me. You said
Okay.
she on West Broad?
Yeah.
Yep.
SP Payroll and Tax Service.
I feel like I've seen that somewhere. Do you know off West Broad and what?
I don't. No. But yeah, so give us a success story.
Success story. Let's see.
So I had a chance, I do want to say this. I had a chance to try your desserts, those strawberry cookies. I love them.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
The what was it? The relish.
I was just about to ask you.
Yeah, I love the relish. That
Okay.
was really good. It was like that sweet, spicy, sour mix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that too.
I got some hits
So,
on that relish.
I wanted to say that for the record.
Thank you, thank you.
But yeah, so outside of that, I know when I showed up, you were very excited, very happy, very organized. So what's that success story in the last 2 years, that one that just stands out in your mind like, man, see, this is why I do this every day?
Honestly, my family, they are very, very, very supportive, like all the way around. It was so organized because my sister was there. My oldest sister, OCD Annie, came through. She helped me get it set.
OCD Annie.
Yes, OCD Annie. She came through, helped me get it set up.
Okay.
So I didn't have the headache of, how I'm going to set things up. I have a wonderful partner. She's real good at math, for real. She helps me out a lot when it comes to the finances and making sure I'm not overspending or anything like that. I think the best part with that, or just being my success story, is allowing the people to actually help me that want to help. It's a difference. And asking people for help and receiving their help, that's like a job.
Absolutely.
Don't nobody want to get up and go to work every day.
Right.
So I would end up with, don't nobody really want to help too much, but they're helping because I asked, opposed to this person they've always been interested and always been like, well, let me know if you need anything or this, and that. I finally accepted the help that wanted to help me.
Okay.
Biggest success story.
Okay. So what help did you accept? And when you accepted that help, what was the result?
From having help with my promotion, just encouraging words. Like I said, mental illness will take you down sometimes. Having people that'll have your back and let you know, like, hey, we see you trying and we know, it can't be a lot. I'm here if you need me. Mm-hmm. But if you need me, not that whole, I want to come and try and take over or anything like that. I felt like I had more of an option. And it took a little bit of time. Okay. But knowing that the option was always there when I was ready for it, it made it so much easier to just be like, all right, hey, I need help setting up, or I don't know what to do with it. This money don't look like it's going right. Like, it became easier.
Okay. So I know you had a few setbacks in the beginning, right? So just talk about a most recent setback and what did you do to overcome that setback?
Well, I'm experiencing a little baby setback now. I'm in the process of moving.
Okay.
I don't have a commercial kitchen right now, so we all
have to start somewhere.
Yep, so I do a lot of moving around, and my mom helped me a lot, but my mommy's about to move.
Okay.
So, excuse me.
Are you fine?
So, with that, I don't like to use the word setback. I have to adjust. Okay. I have to make adjustments, to be honest. So now I have to adjust and find where I'm going to be cooking for the weekends until I get me a commercial kitchen or my own space, which, fingers crossed, will be here real soon. That's really my biggest adjustment right now, or setback, is being like, you got to cook and have somewhere to cook. Where are you going to do it?
Exactly. So, if I can share one thing in terms of adjustments, right? So I can remember I started a school uniform business. Mm-hmm. In the building that I was in, the guy that owned it was a huge building. He sold the building, right? I had this whole plan about having the first school uniform business in the inner city.
Yeah.
Right? And everything was great. It was perfect. We were able to have a couple of drives, give away some free stuff. the guy sold the building, and we had to move to a building out in the suburbs. So that was the whole point, was to be in the inner city. And I thought, I'm like, I closed up shop instead of me doing what you're doing, which is the adjustment, right? The pivot. And I think a lot of us fail because, to your point, we don't know how to pivot. We think since we experience a challenge or adversity that we got to shut it all down.
Oh, no. No. There is always a way. And I didn't learn that until these last 2 years. My first 3 years, once something went wrong or I didn't know what I was doing, I'd be like, I don't know what to do, so I got to stop. And that's where that month came in, that 2-3 months that, like, now I really got to start over.
Right.
No, there is always a way. It may not be your first thought, second. It may not even be your idea. But when I say there's a way for you to figure out how to get your stuff out there, as long as it's people outside,
Exactly.
we can figure it out.
Okay. So what's some advice that you would give to the Ym'Unique out there? The one who's like, I had some challenges growing up, mental health, whatever the challenges are, right? But they have that one thing that they hold on to that's like their safe haven, their peace, their way to escape. And they want to take it to the next level. They can't see themselves doing anything else but that one thing. With your challenges and what you've learned over the last 5 years, what advice would you give to the little Ym'Unique?
To know, no matter what, this is yours. It's for you. And when something is yours or it's just meant for you, there's nothing that could really stop it. We can slow it down. We can take a break to breathe. But when it's yours, it's for you, that passion is there, it's not going nowhere. So no matter, if it's one of them days, take 2 days off. If it's a week, take a couple weeks off. But it's not, don't ever think what is yours is going to go away, because it's you. It's not going nowhere.
Okay.
Best thing I could tell the little Ym'Uniques out there is, it's not going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. Take it one step at a time.
Okay. So it was something I was gonna ask you in terms of market trends, right? Up to date trends, right? So you chocolate covered strawberries, different types of desserts, and all of that stuff. So how do you stay up to date? I know you talked about earlier about the recipe box, right? The little, on the index cards, but obviously those are probably recipes that will never get old. It's still good.
Yep.
So how do you take those recipes and incorporate them into new trends? And how do you add the new trends on top of that as far as just new desserts, period?
What is that saying older people used to say? It ain't nothing really new. It's just repeating the cycle. Ain't none of this stuff new. Ain't none of these trends. Ain't none of they desserts or nothing new. We are literally probably just mixing different stuff that we already love together.
Okay.
I take what we already got, to be honest, and everybody just seemed like they just piling stuff on top of each other. Like, for example, everybody love banana pudding. I don't like bananas.
I love banana pudding.
That's all you. I got you. Homemade banana pudding, everybody like it.
Okay.
For the most part, most people like cheesecake. So if you like banana pudding and cheesecake, and I tell you I got a strawberry cheesecake banana pudding cup, I made them 2 weeks ago, by the way.
Yeah, that sounds good. Great combination. Because I love both.
That's it. It ain't nothing new. You just rearranging and adjusting to what they're moving with now, for real.
So what if it's something that's challenging for you, or that you don't know how to make, or that you've never seen before?
I ask for time. I do. I'm gonna try it.
Okay.
Like those candy fruits that they went real big on TikTok for a while. People were taking, instead of just regular candy apples, they started dipping grapes, watermelon. Annoying.
Right.
Real pretty, but it's I had never seen it. I had never done it. I had only made caramel apples. I had never worked with candy. And it was just like, you know what? We gonna try it.
Okay.
And it was more of it looked pretty. And it ain't new. Like I said, we ain't had candy apples forever.
Okay.
Somebody just decided, oh, let me dip a strawberry in. I'm like, you know what? We can do it.
Okay.
So I be just excited to try a lot of stuff. I ain't even gonna beat you, especially when it come to food.
So, when you leave here today, what's your plan for Duwop's Kitchen?
Ooh, I'm excited you asked. Leaving here today, Duwop's Kitchen is coming up with I'm collabing with a new hair store called Hair Vibes.
Okay.
Black owned as well.
Okay.
They are out west too. I don't know, maybe probably about to keep it out west with taxes, hair stores, food. But we are going to have a toy drive.
Okay.
So we're planning a toy drive for December. They've only been open, I think, about 8 weeks. We're going to do a soft grand reopening for them in February.
Okay.
What else we got? We going to find me a kitchen. That's the plan.
Okay.
And just keep trying to take it up for the holidays.
Okay.
I'm trying to put something to Duwops on everybody's table for the holidays.
So I have a challenge for you.
What's up?
Take a notepad and write down all of the fears you have when it comes to business. And just like you did, because we all in the beginning, we have that momentum when we get started. Like, okay, I want to start this thing. I'm going to ask questions, and then it kind of like slows down a little bit. But I challenge you to take that same energy you had in the beginning to find out about how to structure an LLC, how to get your EIN. Take that same energy and look at that list, and next to that list, write down some potential people you can reach out to get questions to everything that you're afraid of, and execute on it.
I can do that.
To take Duwop's Kitchen to the next level.
I can do that. And that's easy. To get information on, like you said, how to take it to the next level.
Okay. So how do you balance your personal and your business life? Because I'm sure with orders coming in, right? Orders could come in at any time. Do you have like set times that you bake and cook, or?
Oh yeah. I've been really trying to get way more organized with that because people love food. People will hit you up on Facebook at 3:42 a.m. talking about a cake. I promise you.
Because they're up at 3:42.
And you came across my page and you like, what kind of cake is that?
Right.
Can I order that next week? It's 3 a.m, dude.
Exactly.
Yeah, I actually have become more organized because I am only open on weekends.
Okay. I
post my menu Tuesday through Thursday so people know what I'm making. I do my prep. Yeah, my cooking and prepping is usually done Wednesday night, Thursdays.
Okay.
Friday and Saturday, I'm open for business.
Okay.
I have learned, though, this the thing right here. I have learned to only make what I want to sell in them 2 days.
That's good.
So if I run out, that's just what it is. If I run out Saturday morning, I'm not making no more. If
So
I run out,
stressing yourself.
Yep. If I run out Friday night, I'm sorry, Saturday people. Y'all gonna have to catch me next week.
Okay.
And I'm gonna make sure, maybe I'll add 5 more to it. But learning to make only what you gonna sell or what you trying to, that's big.
No, that's huge.
That's big.
Kind of like a limited offer.
Yeah. So letting people know that I'm only taking order. I'm only open 2 days a week. That's helpful. I only take pre-orders during certain times. You will only get a response back from me from certain times. That's how I pretty much got them to kind of calm down with the phone going off at 4 and 3 in the morning.
Okay.
It still have its moments though. It does. I don't know if it's just me, but some people don't always read, those instructions, and you still have to go in. But being patient and still being nice to your customers and letting them know, hey, it's 3 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get with me tomorrow.
Exactly.
It's okay. Or then I respond back till tomorrow too.
Right.
But that's how I find that balance.
Okay. So how can everybody find you?
Ooh, I am on almost all major platforms. I'm on Facebook. If you at me, it's going to be Duwop's Kithchen.
Okay.
And that is spelled Duwop, Kithchen, Kitchen. My Instagram is Duwop's official page.
Okay.
That's how you find me on IG. And I do have a TikTok too, Duwop's Kithchen. Trying to get more active on there though.
Nice.
It's hard.
So your handle is the same on all platforms besides Facebook, right?
No, it's besides Instagram.
Instagram.
Yep, Instagram is Duwop's official page.
Okay.
Everybody else, Facebook, TikTok, is just Duwop's Kithchen.
All right, perfect. So if you had to leave, you have to ask a question to the next person that's going to come on the podcast. What question would that be?
I think I would want to know what did they want to get out of the podcast? What were they looking most forward to? Like, what was your point of it?
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'd want to know that. Like, not for me, yes, it's great to get me out there, but I really wanted the experience.
Okay. So can I ask you that question? What did you want to get out the podcast, and did you get it?
I wanted to get the experience, and I did want the opportunity to share why I do what I do, and I did.
All right, perfect.
I did.
Well, I'll tell you what, I can appreciate the transparency. I know the listeners will appreciate the transparency, everything that you were challenged with, but still pushing through, still moving to the next level, willing to accept the challenge. All of that stuff is valuable. And a lot of times people think they need to, you get on a podcast, you got to talk about how much money you made or how much business you have, as opposed to just normal, regular, everyday struggles that people go through and how to get through those things, because it's those things at the foundation that you have to get in order before you could truly take it to the next level.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to be 100% human. I don't know what else to do. I can't. When people even ask me, how's business? Business is business.
Right.
As long as I'm here, Duwop's Kithchen gonna be here. So.
Okay. Anything else you want to add?
I do appreciate you having me. For anybody out there that's considering starting a business or have a passion for it, go ahead. You are literally the only thing standing in your way. Like, I stood in my way for my first 3 years. That's it. I was in my way. You are the only thing stopping you from getting to where you want to be. Get up and do it.
All right, perfect. Hey, that's the best closing. Nothing else for me to add. Duwop's Kithchen. Make sure you look her up. All social media platforms. Again, the relish is good. If you want to try the relish, you're local, Columbus, Ohio, check out the relish. Check out the strawberry cookies. There's some other desserts, but those are my favorites, so I'm a little biased. But I want to thank you for joining the Let's Evolve for Tomorrow podcast, where we help aspiring, new, and existing entrepreneurs excel to the next level by inviting other new, aspiring, and existing entrepreneurs to the podcast, where they can give knowledge and gems on how to get to the next level. And we'll see you next time.